spread. Please be seated. Okay, good morning. Good to see you. Yeah, especially in this long weekend. And today we are going to have a very special section. And as you all know that Omero is one of city's 8 blueprints. And our stem cell centers was established in 1993, over 32 years ago. And we now have actually more than 491,000 registered donors and have completed more than 7,000 transplants. And I think we also help countless families and also restored hopes for many people. So today we are going to have an amazing team to share the touching stories. So everyone, before that, let's welcome our handsome team leader to make some announcement.
Okay, good. So dear ladies and gentlemen, here I have like 4 items, 4 points as my announcement, right? Okay, 我们来聊4件事情，好 ，OK。第一个，各位就好像我们在群组里面有大家有在问的，对不对？但是现在未定案哦。在我们知道下个礼拜天是经济日，对不对？你们经济日有一门课是你们10月，他不晓得要出来讲什么了，对不对？在他说完之后呢，我们才会有这个入经藏的外语队的入经藏 ，OK， 就是岁末祝福，你要表演给上人看的 ，OK， 好，我们呢自己也要有一个团队入经藏，然后呢，你们大家长得就是男的帅，女的美，对不对？我真的很希望你们就直接舞台区了，OK， 好，舞台区你离上人会比较近，好 ，OK， 然后呢，我们当然也有法海区。这样子 ，OK， 那如果你是第一次听这些慈济语会的法海区就是坐在座位区，然后呢用手把那个经文演绎出来，就是坐在座位区，然后这个是在舞台区 ，OK， 这个大概下个礼拜之后才会再公布。然后呢，你们的那个总筹呢，应该会是你们杨家新事件，只要他站的地方，我们就对他的角度，我们就知道我们舞台该怎么站，OK。然后呢，接下来第2个，我们大概会在11月7号到11月12号，总共有6天哦。这是海外收证，对 ，OK， 海外收证 ，OK， 好，那总共有2梯，那我们呢承办的是第2梯 ，OK， 这样子。然后呢，会有非常多的口译员又要到花莲去了，然后呢，包含我也不会在，所以呢，你们在下一次11月9号，你们的文法课呢，我们为您邀请到世界上最有名的丁烈老师来带课。OK， 好，他有出很多的字根字什么的书，那他在代课的时候，你们要是有任何单字背不起来的话，你们一定要问他 ，OK， 绝对的 ，OK， 好，那请问一下，你要讲什么文法主题呢？
I'm still thinking about it.
You're still thinking about that. OK， 好，那不然你就接受挑战了，大家问你什么你就回答。OK， 我赞了，对不对 ？OK， 好，然后呢，接下来11月26号，不要忘记哦，这一天是 Coffee Time。OK， 我们又要邀国际学生到进士堂来，这次要带他们体验什么台湾文化呢？我们31号开会才会知道。OK， 那请大家先记一下，是26号。要带国际学生 ，OK， 然后呢，这个呢，我大概会在开始前一天才发布，因为这个已经定好了，11月3号到11月5号总共有3天，有法国的同学要到进士堂参访的，那是慈大的自选中心邀的，但是呢，他的那个时间非常的短，所以不会让说大家都可以来，因为那个时间你应该不行。是早上的9点到9点半，就这样而已，就是一门课，然后呢连续3天，然后呢，如果你那个时候你也有空要来这边 那个观摩的话，当然是 OK 的。但是呢，那个口译员还有的那个导览志工呢，其实已经排好了，那你来就一起来看看大家是怎么做的。So within the 3 days, right? OK， 好，那以上呢是这4样，然后来看 meet in the 6th pair。OK， 好，谢谢。
Okay, now please join me to welcome our amazing team. The first presenter is Lillian.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Today we are so excited to talk about bone marrow donation. I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to talk about the history and some concerns of it. And first of all, let's check a video.
这个故事伫咱的内心甲外形啊，咱必定是心无法来保证着，还是应菩萨了道行的法则啊。法要接纳入心啊，就成为慧命增长，就把它变成了细胞。我们生命中的法的细胞啊，在我们的身中，就如法水呢，这修行的人，或者是学佛的人，把法化为水，叫做法水。法水吸收进来，我们的身心陶冶啊，让我们呢这一份起心动念，无不都是为天下长生的希望，去利益教化度化众生。
Because this video kind of pretty long, so I will just brief summarize it. In this video, as Master Zhen Yan told us, as Bodhisattva, we need to give, and to give completely, even with our hearts, our eyes, liver, and bone marrow to save life. So thanks to the modern medicine, science, and technology, we are able to fulfill this wish and make miracles happen. So Master Zhen Yan established the慈济Foundation Bone Marrow Donation Information Center on October 24th, 1993. As for the Dana, Sister Jai will provide us more insight of it. And as we know that the process of donating bone marrow is a pretty complex process. Patients' journey are well documented, while donors' experiences are often overlooked. So today we are going to talk more about those concerns. And before we get into the concerns, firstly, let's learn some facts about bone marrow donation. There are two main methods of it. The first one is called bone marrow harvest. In this method, doctors use the needle to extract stem cells from the donor's hip or other locations, such as a chest bone. But the second one is called peripheral. Thank you. Peripheral blood stem cell donation. This one is more commonly used now because this one, donors is given an injection of a drug to stimulate the bone marrow to release stem cells into the donor's blood circulation, and then a machine will use to collect it, similar to that of used in blood donation. So this one is safer now. And then, now let's look at some concerns of donating bone marrow. The first one is what happens on the day of bone marrow donation.
The actual process, the surgical procedure of donating bone marrow involves the donor being laid face down, and again, they will be asleep, so they won't remember any of this. And the bone marrow transplant physician or surgeon taking a tiny needle and making a tiny slit that's about 1/4 inch in the hip bone through the back, and place a tiny hollow needle there that will draw out some of the liquid bone marrow. This process is the actual bone marrow donation and can take anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour, depending on how much bone marrow is needed.
So on the day of my donation, I arrived at the hospital about 5 a.m. with my companion, and we walked into the hospital. We were greeted by hospital staff. I was escorted to the place where I could get changed and get situated for the doctor to come in, who had been with me, telling me things from the beginning of the process. All the nurses were there, telling me with me, making sure that I was comfortable during the whole process. I was given a sedative, and so I had almost been completely asleep by the time that I got to the operating room, and the anesthesiologist had me count backwards from 10, and I don't know which one I fell asleep, but I was completely asleep from during the process. Everything went really fast and well, and that was great. And then after, I was moved to the recovery area where I was there for about another 2 hours. And then after that, I was able to go home.
Okay, next one. Next page. So the next one is, does it hurt to donate bone marrow?
It's important to remember that when a donor is donating bone marrow, they are asleep the entire time. So the entire time that the bone marrow is being collected through this minor surgical procedure, there's an anesthesia doctor there whose only job is to ensure that the donor stays asleep and to ensure that they are comfortable and without pain after the procedure.
I was able to speak with the anesthesiologist who described that I had nothing to worry about, so that was like really helpful and nice. Aside from fatigue, I really didn't even need to take any Motrin or Advil or anything. I didn't feel the need to do so. It's like I felt just very mildly tender, so it wasn't a big deal. But mostly the thing for me again was, I slept for 24, 48 hours straight thinking now, but aside from that, it was actually pretty easy recovery, and it was 2 or 3 days at max till I was back, back at the office, working, standing, sitting, without any trouble whatsoever. So That was my experience.
And the next one is the third one. The third concern is what are the side effects of donating bone marrow?
When a donor is given bone marrow, because they are asleep during the actual process, they typically don't have a lot of side effects directly during the procedure. However, it's not unusual afterwards to have some minor discomfort, specifically in the lower back area, which is the area where the bone marrow has been collected from. For the vast majority of donors, they say that this discomfort is quite minimal. It's typically taken away with the use of Tylenol, Motrin, Advil, for example. And these symptoms are usually gone within a few days. Most donors are up, walking around, and back to their normal lifestyle within 5 to 7 days.
So after I donated bone marrow, I had pretty minimal side effects. I had a few sites on my lower back that were a little bit tender to the touch for a few days after I had donated. Aside from fatigue, I really didn't even need to take any Motrin or Tylenol or Advil or anything. Pretty easy recovery, and yeah, it was 2 or 3 days at max till I was back, back at the office, working, standing, sitting, without any trouble whatsoever.
And the last one is what are the risks of donating bone marrow?
Because the bone marrow is constantly repopulating itself within the body, it's extremely rare to have any serious short-term risk, and even more rare to have any serious long-term risk. However, it's not unusual afterwards to have some minor discomfort, specifically in the lower back area, which is the area where the bone marrow has been collected from. For the vast majority of donors, they say that this discomfort is quite minimal. It's typically taken away with the use of Tylenol, Motrin, Advil, for example. And these symptoms are usually gone within a few days. Most donors are up, walking around, and back to their normal lifestyle within 5 to 7 days.
Well, in conclusion, we can see that overall, although bone marrow donation is generally considered a safe procedure, donors may still experience some discomfort after the procedure, such as fatigue, sleeping disorder, or headache. Therefore, donors must discuss their concerns with their medical teams beforehand. We believe that by understanding the procedure and the complication, donors can find comfort in their journey of saving life. That's my sharing for today. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for Sister Lilian's presentation. Her presentation is sharing about this procedure and side effect of bone marrow donation. And that was a traditional way of extracting the stem cell from the ileal crust, still hip bone here, because there are more concentration of stem cell in the ileal crust or hip bone. But now and later today, after the tea break, we are going to hear from our real donor Jimmy later today. He is going to share. He actually made the donation, but he didn't go through the traditional way of taking the stem cell from the ileocrest, but he went through the peripheral way of taking from a stem cell from his bloodstream. So we are going to hear his experience afterwards. But now we are going to go through the origin of the bone marrow registry, and that is so. This is my presentation. And these are the photos that I took from the internet that your the leukemia patients. They are not happens in the adults, but a lot of leukemia patients, they are children. And taking a look at these little children, and they're in dire need of bone marrow transplant. So there are in the whole world, not only in Taiwan, we are in dire need of needing more people who are willing to put their stem cell samples on the registry, so that when patients need bone marrow donation, they will be able to find a match from a registry, bone marrow registry. But everything does not come naturally. It comes from a lot of people's effort and not afraid of facing any difficulties. Even started from Master Zheng, how she first she want to establish bone marrow registry in慈济, and what kind of difficulty, what made her want to make this decision, and what kind of difficulties she need to face. And the慈济volunteer. These are, I always think that慈济volunteer, how they have to do, we have to accomplish this mission of delivering bone marrow as a mission impossible. They need to go through a lot of difficulties, for example, like transportation. Sometimes the donor and the patients, they are in different places, in different nations. So the慈济volunteer need to deliver this bone marrow from Hualien慈济Hospital, because we have a bone marrow registry in Hualien慈济Hospital, and they need to take train after extract the bone marrow and stem cell. The慈济volunteer need to take train to Taipei, and then from Taipei taking flight to overseas, and to the destination nation, they need to take the local transportation, and they only have 24 hours for the fresh stem cell to be delivered and injected into the patient's bloodstream. So it's every minute counts, very critical. So let's take a look at the origin of慈济bone marrow registry. And next page.
照片中的女孩名叫罗，年轻时旅居美国，前途看好。但是上天却给了她一个考验：慢性骨髓性白血病。唯一可能的治愈方法是骨髓移植。当时是西元1992年，骨髓移植手术在全球医疗界还属于新兴的领域。最早的发展是从亲属间检验配对是否有适合的骨髓。
我们有4姐妹，这是我大姐，这是我，这是老三，这是老四。文莹是我们的大姐，这是文莹。我们家感情很好，所以我们每个人都希望骨髓跟她的相合，可以捐给她。
遗憾的是，翁文玲和家人都无法配对成功，只好希望寄托在非亲属之间的骨髓捐赠。 尽管希望渺茫，郭文林仍不放弃任何可以让他活下去的机会。
文林当初为什么会回来台湾，就是因为他在美国爱华大学办练学活动的时候，当地的电视台也很配合，就是美国当地的那个记者就问他说：“你在这里找骨髓，你为什么不回你的国家去找？”那他觉得这句话有点像打到了他，还是说刺痛了他？他觉得说，对我今天我是留学生，我很幸运我在美国得到这么多人的帮忙。他觉得非亲非故又在异乡，他实在只是一个小小的外国人，可是他得到这么大的帮忙，他就觉得说，在台湾生病的人怎么办？所以他才会回来台湾奔走。
当时饱受病痛的翁文林想到了有许多人也跟他一样，苦苦地待着救命的骨髓，他愿意献身书法，回到台湾推广骨髓捐赠。只是回来后，他才发现当时的法令限制了非亲属间的骨髓捐赠行为。
那最后一个检查出来不合，只是跟这个医师说，这个检验费这么贵，那我们兄弟姐妹都不合，我是不是可以把我们的骨髓捐给跟我姐姐同样命运的人？这医师就告诉我们说，台湾其实确实有人很需要，但是台湾第一个法令不通过，第二个台湾没有骨髓库。
然后那时候我们7个捐给台里面还有30岁里面的人捐赠给台里，因为那个是完全是
翁文林没有就此放弃，他在台大医院陈耀康医师的陪同下，拜访卫生署，吁请政府修法，开放非亲属骨髓移植的法条限制。
因为这个属于行政这时候就所以我们就把这个法律就要修改，修改了以后呢，就颁布了，颁布完就通过了。
1993年5月，立法院通过修正案，废除骨髓捐赠3等亲历的限制。而翁文林的下一步目标是期望台湾可以成立骨髓资料库，所以他来到花莲拜见证人上人。
而且哪怕是在美国，同样也是医师束手无策。唯一的方法就是骨髓移植。寻找骨髓移植，谈何容易啊！后来回想起来，还是回到台湾，看到了一位非常漂亮、很清秀，而且很有才华的一位青春年华的孩子，学业都成功了，但是在这个时候，偏偏他得到这种，真的那一段时间啊，心里很焦躁，到底我要怎么样去帮助？唯一的希望就是建立了资料库，希望在台湾能赋予更多的有心人、爱心人，希望在台湾的医疗发达，加上爱心的陪伴，但是未来有这样的病痛的人，他有更多的得救的机会。有一些很关心我的人警告我不可以做，因为骨髓资料库不是一件简单的事情，而且需要花费庞大的经费，要配对也不简单，就是配对到了，也不见得能捐拿。所以大家都很关心。像我提出来 记忆。但是我再三的思考，我认为生命不是用金钱数字来比拟，生命是无价的，所以用爱是文字。
So
南岸送水，
这海中的女孩，
南岸送水的救命代理任务，早期爱与南岸还未执行。南岸送水的
照片中的女孩名叫欧文。
Okay, so Master Dragon said that the life is. By the way, anyone do not understand Chinese? Because you didn't understand Chinese.
I can just understand a little bit.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Well, I didn't actually. Okay. Today my presentation today, I've been looking through watching a lot of videos. I tried to look for a video with a subtitle, an English subtitle, but I failed to do so because a lot of history video are not in English, so they're in Chinese. But you can interpret it for her. But I'll briefly go through what has happened in this video. This Wen Wenling, she was a student in United States, but she was originally from Taiwan. And she has finished her got her master's degree, and she was a PhD student in the US. And she found she had leukemia. So the doctor in the US said that she needed bone marrow transplant. And although in the US she got a lot of people's help, even TV station broadcast her story about how she is in dire need of bone marrow donation, but she still could not find a match, so she came back to Taiwan because she was originally from Taiwan. And if the patient and the donor are same race, there are higher percentage of finding the match in the 6 pair of our DNA. And so Wen Wenling came back to Taiwan, and she found out that at that time the legislation in Taiwan did not allow bone marrow transplant because it was classified as organ transplant at that time. So she did not give up. She actually with her doctor from Taida Hospital, the Taiwan University Hospital, they went to ask the change in our legislation so that and after the legislation they edit and then change the law so that they allow the bone marrow transplant. And then she still need to, at that time, Taiwan does not have a bone marrow registry. So at that time, Wen Wenling asked a lot of people's help, and finally someone told her, the only person can help you in Taiwan is the Master Zheng Yan of Tzu Chi Foundation. Only Master Zheng Yan has the courage and the enormous compassion. When Master Zheng Yan see people need help, she would shoulder the responsibility no matter how difficult it is. So Wen Wenling went to Hualien to visit Master Zheng Yan and asked Master Zheng Yan to help her out. And you saw that Master Zheng Yan evaluate, and Master Zheng Yan wouldn't do anything wouldn't do anything that to help someone, but at the same time to hurt another person, the donor. And Master Jen did evaluate this situation and asked a lot of medical profession to give her advice whether this is safe, bone marrow transplant is safe for the donor. And she got affirmative answer that there is no harm to the donor. So Master Jen started to, she evaluated also that a lot of people had asked Master Jen not to do it because the medical expenses is enormously huge amount. So, but Master Jen said that the life is invaluable. She cannot evaluate task of helping others by money value. So that's why Tzu started Master Jen asked Tzu volunteer to help her to establish this bone marrow registry. And I don't know whether any one of you, I think, Brother David, you must have a lot of experience of going on the street to ask people to make donation. Can you share your experience?
Okay, thank you. For the bone marrow donor, we have to recruit the people come to make the registration and have to take a 10 cc of the blood and send to the center, the bone marrow center, to build up this data. And each set of the data takes about 10,000 to 10,000 $10,000 to build up this data. No, it's not free. It costs. We have to send to the United States to analyze this sensor. Yeah. So it costs. It's very costly. And up to now we have about 480,000 data in the center. 491,000. Yeah, so it's a lot of money. So it's a lot of money. But so at the beginning, it should be the duty of the government to do this job. But nobody would like to take this responsibility. So she went to Hualien to visit Master Zheng. And Master Zheng, he said, money is not what he concerned, but save life is what Master concerned. So he take this duty and ask the volunteer to help. And when we, it's very difficult to invite the people to take this sensor. Just like today, you can see in the OGT. Yeah, there are a value that we set up this data, and we invite the donor to come here and to take this take the blood. And you can see that a lot of job. We have to go to the street to invite a stranger and invite them to pick up this data. And the age must be under 45 years old, because more than 45 years old, then because the validity of this of your data is up to 55 years old. So if you more than 45 years old, then your data validity only 10 years, too short. So we encourage the young people, 18, 19 years, 20 years old, to come to build up this data is more valuable. But so we went to the military, we went to the college, we went to the street to find the young people come to build up this data. And once some needed patient, they send this his requirement to the hospital, and the hospital match from the database and find somebody. His bone marrow is matched with the patient. So we had to find this patient, find this donor, because we don't know where. Maybe it's 10 years after he built up the data, maybe 20 years. So where is the donor? So this is what we do. We have to find a donor. Maybe after 10 years they have moved to Taipei, moved to Hualien, but we still have to find it. Yeah, so it's a very tough test. But I think up to now we have 7,000 donors successfully donate their own marrow. So it's a unbelievable task. But I have to say that without Tzu Chi, I don't know who can do this kind of job. And especially the donor, the patient, we take, it costs only not so much money to get this bone marrow donation. Not like in the foreign.
You have a chart of
Yes.
the price comparison.
It's about it's almost 110,000, 120,000 $80. So it's very cheap to get this bone marrow. In the foreign, I think in foreign countries, not possible to get a bone marrow donation with such low cost. Why? Because this task is all free. For example, you go to the street to find a stranger come to build up the data, and the data, Tzu Chi pay for the data to preserve this data. And when we find a donor, we have to invite him come to donation, and it takes about 3 days, 4 days to make the health.
And also injection, right?
Yes. So
Injection.
I think he can share his experience. I have to say that in our community, every year we have to build up one venue for the bone marrow建档，build up the data. Yeah, every community, we have to do one event every year. So in Kaohsiung, we have 41 community. So which means every year have 41 venue all in the community to build up this data. Yeah, that's my experience.
If any one of you have gone
On the street to do the recruitment, you will experience a lot of rejections. Like I see that when I stood on the street, I was to the uniform, and when I saw people, pedestrian, are going to walk by, and I approached to them, and they were like going in front of me. They were like I was contagious. They don't have to talk to me. And then I even experienced some pedestrian when they
are willing to talk to me, and sometimes they would say that, my relative has got a bone marrow transplant, but it's nothing to do with CT. We done it in other hospital like that, because they didn't know that behind the scene, although they are treated in other hospital, not CT hospital, but actually their doctor need to work with CT bone marrow registry. There's no other bone marrow registry in Taiwan. So, but the patient didn't know that behind the scene, so many CT volunteers work hard to make their bone marrow donation dream come true. But they didn't know. So I went on the street and found out that a lot of people need to be, still need to, we need to promote this idea of bone marrow registration to more people so that they know that how important this, how crucial this is, and we need more people to help because they didn't know. They only know that through their doctor. Then it's like it comes naturally. The doctor can help them, but they didn't know that behind the scenes, so many people are trying so hard to help them. And the next video, very short.
南岸送水的救命快递任务，早期派队的安排位置。
照片中的女孩名叫露露，年轻时旅居美国，前途看好，但是上天眷顾。
南岸送水的救命快递任务，早期派队的安排位置旁得由台商职工承担。
SARS 同飞机的台上里面，当时就有一个人因为 SARS 往生啊，所以一下子真的好多职工都很紧张。那他们回来以后还好是没事。
这些造成的包括台湾市做的是普通厂，为今天一下这个竞争上，这个帮助何其大也。
职工自费送水几年之后，取水任务也交还大陆各遗址医院。
对我们很多的医生来讲，那里就像家一样，有一种非常的亲近的感觉。
台湾的实际的流水是1.5流水，不是我，是我们那个护士，我们医生最基本就是管病人的医生还会放水，然后这种放水还不传到病人的身上。实际它不单单是我给一个骨髓就完了，我觉得带来很多的那种前后的关怀，还有很多的理念。
2001年夏天，两岸关系紧张，但当年有份珍贵的礼物穿越海洋，及时被送到苏州，抢救血癌女孩陈霞。
中华骨髓库通过这一次两岸三地的报道，就是影响非常大，就觉得我们大陆没有把中华骨髓库这件事情做好，有点汗颜，所以高层领导人就采取决议，拿出财政上拨钱来支持这个国路建设。
在与慈济合作多年以后，这些年大陆捐水风气大开，2007年也开始回馈台湾病患，两岸清水之爱的本医也将日渐扩大。
这么多年的造血干细胞移植技术，一个是我们团队的成长，也服务了很多病人。但另外一方面，我觉得收获了很多。这个我觉得是慈济中心持续的这么多年来，靠这种大爱的精神和他们的一个无私的行动，创造出来的。
So we learned that from this video that Master Zheng has used the action, taking city volunteer, leading city volunteer to take action to show the great love that transcends border barrier of nationality, race, and also language barrier. So the war bridge is the tension between China and Taiwan. And I saw another video that the Chinese doctor, some Chinese doctors, they say that actually like long time ago, I don't remember which year, they've already, in China, they already established a bone marrow registry, but because of the Cultural Revolution, 文化大革命, it sees the function of the bone marrow registry. So that's why when after the Tzu Foundation built up this bone marrow registry, the leukemia patients in China need help from Tzu bone marrow registry. And then throughout these years, the medical staff in Tzu bone marrow registry, they selflessly share their experience with the medical profession in China. So now in China, there are doctors in hospitals, they have more advanced technology and knowledge to make this bone marrow transplant possible to save life. And then the next. And the next one, because I have time constraint. Next one, next page. See this one. This is another example of messaging. No matter what messaging do, the purpose is not what she does. What she wants city volunteer do is not the main concern. What she wants to do is to purify people's heart. That's the ultimate goal. And this is a very perfect example of even after so much effort has done by city volunteer and master and all the medical profession to make bone marrow transplant possible. When in year 2002, there is a criticism about city bone marrow donation. The criticism is about like city making a lot of profits from this bone marrow transplant. And it was a rumor, but at that time, city volunteer didn't know how to face this confrontation from the general public because general public did not understand, but they heard this rumor and believed the rumor. And then at that time, how does messaging face this confrontation from the general public? She did not directly make announcement to the general public to tell the truth, but she actually 3 days later after this rumor came out, Master Jaden asked Brother Hederson, when he used to be an anchor, very famous anchor at media TV station in Taiwan, and then just in year 2002, he went to work for the IT, went to work for the city. So it was quite a coincidence that this rumor came out, so Master Jenyan asked him to help out. But Master Jenyan asked him to go travel to other country to look for the origin of bone marrow donation. And let's take a look at the next page. So Master Jenyan's response to the criticism, first trace the roots and origin of bone marrow transplantation. And then the second one, from the standpoint of media professions, was objective view. And then the third one is how does our Tzu bone marrow registry compare to the major bone marrow registry of the world? So the brother He traveled through many countries. And the next page, and this is what he found out. He traveled through China, Japan, US, UK, and Germany. He spent 4 months to do the investigation and visiting the origin of bone marrow donation. And what he found out, I really want someone to read through this English part for us.
My higher journey began in Taiwan, then proceeded through China, Japan, and the United States, the United Kingdom, and finally Germany, lasting 4 months in total. This was the longest interview trip I had undertaken as a journalist, from exclusive interviews with 2 Nobel laureates, Dr. Thomas and Dr. J.H. Carroll, to the volunteers and patients of bone marrow registries across the world. I experienced a profound spiritual journey. These people were all working selflessly for love and for another's life.
So, still, Master Zhen want to find out the origin of love, not to have a dispute with the media in Taiwan, but to find the origin of love. And I want to apologize this name. Dr. Thomas is correct, but these are not correct because I couldn't find the correct name from internet. I searched on the internet and spent so much time looking for the real name, but I failed to find the real name. So that was translated by the AM, so I didn't know the true name. The next page. And this part is also very important. Can someone help us read this English?
The establishment of the bone marrow registry was in fact extremely difficult. In most countries, such registries are funded by their government, but this is unique. It was entirely initiated and sustained by the public. To these volunteers and members, not only donated money to help create the registry, but also dedicated themselves for years to bone marrow donation drives, even paying their own travel expenses to deliver the donations. When Dr. Shao, president of the U.S. Bone Marrow Registry, heard about this volunteer spirit, he exclaimed, surprisingly,
Yeah, so the comparison to other country, city volunteer and Macedonia has more confidence that the city volunteers' selfless service efforts actually make all the professionals in other country surprised that all of them they have the government funding, but only city. In other countries, the bone marrow registry has government funding or state support, but only city, they are supported by the general public donation. and all the volunteers' selfless effort. And the next page. Okay, here is the comparison of the cost that David just mentioned earlier. So these are the money-wise, the cost comparison. See, the money value is so huge, so much difference. The reason that in city phone number registry it could be so cheap, but it's because that it was supported by City Foundation. It was supported by all the donation from the general public. It's not because that in city we doesn't need to cost so much money. It's because that city has already city volunteers pay for the cost. Okay, so this is how much it cost. This chart was made in, I think it was in year 2016, and I think nowadays the cost 15, yeah. So nowadays the cost is probably much higher. Okay, and then the next page. So now is the singing time. There is a song that's made in 6 pairs. It's the 6 pair in our DNA that they are finding the match on the 6 pair of our DNA. They have to, if you have the perfect match in the 6 pair, and when I was searching through the survey in the information of bone marrow donation, I found out even someone, if they found a patient, they found a perfect match and they have went through the bone marrow donation, they do not need to take the drug. They only need to take one patient. She had the experience that she only need to take the drug for half a 6 months, and then her body totally accept these other people's stem cell, the donor's stem cell. 就是有的人他需要一辈子就是吃或打抗排斥的药，但是如果是完完全全 perfectly match 的那个第六对 DNA， 有的人他可以半年之后就不用再吃药，或打针都不用。Okay, so that's I prepared 2 versions. First version is in Chinese, and the second version is in English. Okay.
随着前世的因缘，我们相约来到今生，像是奇妙的约定。我们相遇在第六对。 因为今生的相遇，千辛万苦终究无悔。随着生命的安排，让爱延续在这世界。 你在天涯，我在海角， 上的相遇，千辛万苦做出泪，随着生命的安排，让爱越加实在。你在天涯，我在海角，不需言语，不求回报，寻寻觅觅，深层的记忆，别的意义，我的生命。继续。
Let's listen to the English version. And you will see it's from the Dai drama. And this story is about Tuti Martyr in the US. She has lymphatic cancer, and then she has complication and then leukemia, and she needs bone marrow transplant. And her husband is a Sweden physics, and they are city martyr in the USA. A lot of city martyr help them to find the bone marrow match, but actually it's hard. She failed to find a perfect match. I think finally her brother make the donation, but she still didn't make it through this all the complications. So she passed away. Her name is Grace, and you will be able to see her footage in this video. his mother is a very experienced senior city volunteer from Taipei, Yihui is her mother. And Grace was, when I saw the video and also the drama, I was very touched because I knew Grace, although she was from Southern California and I was in Northern California, but we have interactions in through city works, and she was very talented. And also you saw that she played music instruments to use music to promote Master Jengen's teachings, and using a lot of creative ways, not only by preaching, but she using music to promote Master Jengen's teaching. So, and she made a lot of revolutionary action in the city, US. So we all miss her a lot. But when I went through this, watched this video, I think the value of life is, although we cannot guarantee that we will always live in this world, everything that Grace has done has already made the impact in this world to make this world a better place. No matter how short her lifespan is, but what she has done, all the good deeds she has done, has already benefit many people around the world, not only in the US. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you to Lilian and Jan's presentation. Now let's take a break. Please come back at 10:35. Okay, thank you.
不是，跟我们去花莲的简单的。
Call it love, call it romance.
She went to the government for the job, and the secretary Europe said that the beginning is not equal. It's not equal. So the secretary bureau, the head of the office of secretary bureau, he
等会你要先吗？
因为他说报告的顺序是他，所以我们讨论说法。
对，啊，你想先吗？你想啊？你想先啊？他其实是想说，我先。最可怕，你知道？那个强放腰打，强放腰打。压轴是你哎，强放腰打。强放腰打，有压力，我也是，被我讲，我发手发抖哎。对啊，对，加油！我觉得这个真的需要花时间，因为我只有把稿子写好而已。每次都是大家都会把稿子写完。真的，因为我觉得要上去哈，要很熟的，我们没有办法像嘉义这样啊，嘉义他们是神人境界。我的晚上。然后我前几天我也是在上海，我是想说，好问题。
早8点把小生包里面，然后那个下班去。好有坏啊，现在没有小孩子。
我也没小孩，就是在教他，那时候他是家长。
那你发现了？有手，把它踩下来，踩起来。
没有，情是点点事情。
比如说小孩学打架啊，然后是不是谁说什么？
大家看起来比较有些可能就是比较。我看是我有。
Yes, yes.
我们也不想要不约哦。
Where is money coming from? 晚上他有。
本来我们不想约。
This is the big township.
有那个比啊。
哦，还有绕，切。
Yes, yes.
你很想当鸭总，我知道，
我知道，你很想当鸭总。
你先不要做了，先不要。
You have a comment? Yeah.
压力大或者对吧？还有就是说类似的那个。
哦，要把对，你可以加一首歌吗？我记得一点。他那边没有办。
我觉得我不晓得说他这个，因为我有加入那个什么，是承担责任什么志工，那我一直不知道他的工作是什么，所以我一直不晓得。我们有一个这个，这是什么？
是这个。如果Sunday我们有共修的时候，然后
这个就是这个音控是什么？
音控就是那个，
音控是这个直播就是什么？
就是那个
哦，I see。笔电提供又是什么？
就是那个电脑，
就是去拿电脑吗？
没有，就是带自己的电脑。
哦，了解。
对。
OK， 了解。
带自己的电脑，因为我的电脑是，
通常音控都是哪位社恐？就是笔电提供。
可是等一下，
那个
可能会让你很害怕。
你可以就是提供电脑。
不要这样啦。
对，
这个就是喜欢社交。
对。
我就超讨厌社交。
这个就是那个。
solve your questions, right? And if you really want to, come up with some topic and probably 你觉得台湾的学生语法最烂的是哪一块？
都很慢。
说得好。
我觉得他们最写的其实是基本句型，因为那些基本句型没有懂，就没有。因为我们昨天晚上合作，就是那个就他们每一个句，他写的是一个句，这样的其实不是。他最好。压走，对，你要压走，他已经吓死了。我觉得台湾学生他们没有那种。好，那我们可以开始。可以去上个课，好，那我们学起来之后，发现这样的句子是在内部开始。哦，对啊，很多有些句子让你好记性，还是因为这个词句太强加进去。有意思。所以你可以有意思。那我们就拿大篇，然后把它全部套入大句型。One by one， 分析给我们看。就它是哪一个句型？它是它的延伸，它是一个变形出来的。因为事实上，就算是有千百万句，还是都是只有一句。是哦。是。只有你们这种那个专业的才知道，都会被骗啊！真的是只有一句。它其他的都是多加的。是哦。就算子句也要大句型，只要称为句的，都要开始大句型，还要把句型做对。所以事实上只有句，这样法为起。所以你怎么学的？期待啊！没有我乱讲的，期待光。我要跟 Eric 讲，他叫他找别人，这个专项也是我是说。那我就直接，其实真的是没有那个。这是但是专业的啦，专业的东西啦。你哥跟我弟我说一，这个是真的。我很崇拜我们大学的英史，叫英国诗，他很厉害哦，他只要念过一遍，就跟 P 念过一遍，然后他就可以背起来，不要他有非常有感情，然后他都会讲说他是怎么做到的，就后来疯狂的感情。我是说真的，因为他就是死大句型，他都懂。他看过一遍之后，他就大概知道说这个句子是怎样，然后他就会比较
也会比较容易抓到重点。
对。
我们外行的人，我们看一大篇，
他就是一大，
就会被吓到。
对。说这句虽然说很意思，只是你抓出来之后，他们是受词还是什么东西？上面都是修辞的字句，因为抓出来。他可以直接。
对，就很可怕。对，是很懂，所以他就是念一遍以后，然后他就做讲授这个他以前那一档师，他以前不知道，就觉得我很崇拜，他后来知道以后就强。他是非常重要的，他不是感性，他是一个科学病。它是一个学科，它很科学，比我们中文科学。
我们中文其实是你的文言文，你看怎么写都可以怎么写。
对，我们比较 freestyle，而且我们可以写很多。
好，那我们可以开始。
一个方向，超人。
自己在上课的时候，可以上。
在学校教。
师姐是在成长家吗？
我是三名家上。
他两个人有教会的经验。
还好吧。很大的孩子很可怕。1个半小时。三名家上的英语很好。对，跟我们学校很好。哦，对。
师姐，对。
上个礼拜要来翻美，
上个礼拜。
上礼拜不是要来见习，蛮可惜的，我们的陈毅他没有来。我们那个见习的学员他。
哦，对，他没有来，他自己说。
Good afternoon.
Oh my God, that was too loud.
Good afternoon. Oh, sorry, good morning. I'm not awake yet, I haven't had my coffee. Good morning, everyone. Oh, thanks. My name's Elba. Today, I will be, bridging the links. We're gonna cry a little, we're gonna laugh a little. Hopefully, don't cry too much. So there are 3 things I want to discuss for today's, my part, is we're gonna look at some trailer, we're gonna look at the behind stories for the movie Big, and then we're going to look at some news articles that were done by the Da'ai TV station, and how the bone marrow transplant works as an overall. Okay, so are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, so do you guys remember this movie?
Yes.
Okay, raise your hand if you have seen it. Okay, not a lot. Good. That means that it's not going to be anything too exciting it'll be very exciting for people that haven't seen it. But that also means, since you have seen it, I can go and ask you for your opinion. Okay, so then we're gonna focus on the movie Big. Okay, so based on these pictures, what do you think the movie is about?
A group of children.
A group of children, yeah. What happened to these children? Yeah, they got cancer of some type, right? But when you usually see these kind of movies about cancer kids, are they sad or exciting?
Exciting.
Exciting? What about in general, cancer kids movie? Are they sad or exciting?
Sad.
Sad, and there are some exciting ones, right? So this one's a bit different. So before we watch the trailer, like we mentioned earlier, it's about 4 cancer kids. They live together in this room of 816, but they change it to Big because the word big, as you'll see later in the director's interview, he talks about how this word is given to this movie to commemorate how brave and how strong these kids are despite all adversity. Okay, so let's watch the trailer quick. There's the Chinese and English subtitles together, so it's probably not that bad. Please play it for me.
妹妹她真的很不好，很不好的病，怎么办？
我们发现还是会倒下。
发音要在哪里？
前面到底左转啊，最后一间。
人家的死和复位都注准确，连我们一次个简单的问题都回答不了，要怎么相信你？
不然就这样16件，真好。
你不要开口闭口都是打死他。
要是你这样的，家长都是没有发育我去。
爸爸，我爱你。圣诞节后我要来做开心过一次。啊，谢谢。
5 or 6 beds. So there's 6 child cancer patients of different ages and stages, and they're put in the same room A16, and it's been altered big on its door. And their doctor is actually someone that changed it to big, because he was one of the patients there as well. Okay, so then the parents are also staying in the room with them, and it can get very chaotic. But as we know, cancer is something that's very hard and challenging to take on. So it's a place filled with sadness. Each child, they have to deal with important life-defining moments. The cancer cell can move to different parts of their body without warning at any point in time. So that's what makes it sad. In this picture, in the movie, their child, unfortunately, didn't make it, so they had to pack up and go home. And then there is this point where one of the child, during the cancer treatment, as we know, cancer treatment means killing all cells in that area, whether it's cancer or normal cells. So that means the children can get very sick, they can't eat anything, they might throw up, and it gets very sad. So then the parents and children, nonetheless, work through these problems and try to be brave. Now, we're going to look at a deleted scene from the movie. It's about a scene where the girl can't really eat anything because her legs are hurting and she feels like throwing up. But her mother is saying that maybe she should eat something so that she can get ice cream later. Okay, let's watch it quickly. So as you can see here, the child, I think parts of her lips are really hurting, and when she swallows, it hurts here as well. So her mom said, hey, if you eat now, I'll give you ice cream tonight. And she got very excited about eating ice cream, but she doesn't really want to eat the food itself. So it can be good or bad, depending on how you look at it and your attitude towards it, right? Okay, so then the inspiration for the movie Big is that Wei Desheng, director, he interviewed children. They were infected with a bone marrow cancer, and they had to go through amputation. I'm not really sure which body part. He wasn't specific. So it was 20 years ago he interviewed this kid. In his other interview, he said that this kid has now finished university in 2024. So he's fine. The child is fine. Don't worry, guys. He's okay. He's safe. But then, the time that he's writing the story, he's going through a pandemic, right? And a lot of his projects were put on hold. And in order to make himself feel better about not being able to work, the actors couldn't come to Taiwan. We were going through lockdown, right? Do you guys remember that? No one can come in, no one can leave. We can only stay here. And so, as he's writing these stories, he felt cathartic. He found his own form of catharticism. He was crying and laughing as he was writing the story. And he thought, hey, if I am so inspired by this story, we should make it into a big picture. And this is what he did. So I couldn't find the picture of the child he interviewed 20 years ago. I couldn't. I tried, okay? But supposedly, this is one of the scenes of him working with other children. And this is just a scene from the set. Okay, so then later there's a clip of this interview all in Chinese, but I'm gonna summarize it for you guys in English, because I know there are people here that can't speak Chinese well, right? Okay, so then he noted how full of life during the interview he said in his record recording 20 years ago. He noted how full of life and excited all these children are in the hospital room. It was like he said, and I quote, it was like being in a classroom for an elementary school student. You can imagine how loud that is. And he also noted how the parents of these children really want their children to survive, despite all adversity, despite all the suffering they're going through. And that the story was told big, as I mentioned earlier, to commemorate the bravery and liveliness of these children and their journey in fighting cancer. Okay, so this is just some more pictures from the set. Okay, do you guys have any questions before we move forward and watch the interview? No? Okay, so...
在好久好久以前大概20几年前，曾经做过纪录报道，然后曾经采访过一个骨癌截肢的孩子，然后那个时候问他一些关于癌症病房里面的一些事情，他的很多回答让我有点惊讶，跟我的想象完全不一样。就他的形容，他觉得儿童癌症病房里面很好玩，就是他们每天可以做什么，可以做什么，可以做什么。我那时候觉得蛮好奇的，就怎么会用很好玩，在聊天，在打电动，然后交朋友这种心情，在看待这么没有希望的地方，这么一个苦的一个地方。可是听他的形容，你会觉得这地方好像被他讲，好像某一个学校里面的一个大集。他给我回答里面印象最深刻的一个是说，他在儿童癌症病房里面待了1年多的时间，他从来没有看过一个不想活的孩子。他这个给我冲击很大，但是这个想法是我有一个想法，一直没有变成故事，一直到2021年台湾疫情爆发的时候，那个时候我们本来是有一部大戏要拍啦，可是因为疫情的爆发，让演员不能聚集，海外的工作团队也没办法进来，所以我那时候喊停拍，改成动画制作。因为在那时候我的负面情绪很大，所以我就想说，那我把那个故事拿出来写一写好了，让自己的情绪稍微转移一下。就这样就写了这个故事，然后边写边笑边哭，好像剧本完成了，我的负面情绪就随着哭笑之间就消失了。那我就把它拿去拍吧，既然连写都可以让自己的情绪负面情绪解决掉，那现在这整个大世界的那个战争啊、疾病啊，还有经济的压力啊、学业的压力啊，什么都还蛮大的。那为什么不把它拍出来，让更多人可以从这个故事里面得到释放？并且有那种带着希望、带着重生的希望的感觉，这样。
好正向，我还没看见，我光听这样形容就很感动。因为我妈妈有得患癌，那我很了解那个抗癌的过程。然后还有一个我也是很好奇的，就是关于电影的片名，因为这部片名叫做“病”，就是大的意思嘛。那一般大家就是比如说拍这种抗癌啊，或是疾病主题的电影，都会取一些相关的。有类似连结性的片名啊，比如说什么生命中的美好遗憾啊，或者说什么悲伤更悲伤的故事，就会让大家第一个想到就是说，这个主题很鲜明。那我很想知道说，怎么会当初想要取“病”这个名字？
虽然这一部儿童电影，都是最小的孩子，可是它又是一个能量最强大的一个地方，就是所有的孩子都想活，所有的大人们都想要救活这些孩子。所以这是一个能量非常大的一个地方，所以每个孩子身体小小的，可是他们追求生命的那动力跟能量是非常强大的，很勇敢的，像个战士一样在跟那些恶人、跟那些病在对抗。所以我就想说，用他们心灵的想象世界，用我们看见他内心的那个巨大的能量去定片名，所以片名叫做 BIG， 就是在讲他们内心的那个力量的强大。
Alright, so if you guys watch the trailer, do you guys, in the trailer, there was some cartoon, yeah? So the cartoon was his idea of these kids fighting cancer. And you'll see them throughout the movie. I'm not going to tell you too much about it. Not very good with words, you know. So please go watch the movie if you have the chance. Okay, so moving to what Tsuchi has been doing at the filming site of Big, because Tsuchi Foundation has arranged a couple of viewings for the general public to encourage them to donate, to become donors to become bone marrow donors. Is that right? Did I say right? Okay, good. To become bone marrow donors. So there are like 6 stories, okay, but I'll just pick 2 of people that received the bone marrow. The first one is from Chen Wen-yu. Okay, he's a 44-year-old patient who was diagnosed with acute leukemia. He underwent a bone marrow transplant in 2010 thanks to the Tsuchi Foundation's bone marrow setting up this database and allowing him to be matched with a person. I think this is him, and then this is the person he matched with. And then he expresses gratitude for Master Zhen Yan for establishing the Tsuchi Bone Marrow Donor Registry, which saved both his birth family and the family he has now. Okay? And then the next person, as you can see, she has kids. So another recipient, Li Yan. She was diagnosed with a hard-to-treat and rare lymphoma and bone marrow cancer, and she also suffered from thalassemia, which made her condition even worse. So she completed her transplant in 2009, recovered smoothly, and is now married with a pair of adorable twins, and they're going to enter kindergarten soon. This news was made in 2024. I think maybe they're like still in kindergarten. Okay, so then next, after the viewing of the movie, many audiences were touched. So they walked over to the clinic right across from the library to donate their bone marrow. As we know now, modern technology has made it less painful to donate your bone marrow, right? So then that day, people completed their bone blood samples for registration, and some came after seeing the movies online, and some others were invited by the hardworking Tsuchi volunteers. And none of this would have been possible without the volunteers, of course. Right, among them, there was Lin Guoren and Cai Chengfang, did I say it right? They're a young couple, they're both nurses, and they knew what bone marrow donation is. I mean, professionals already said it's okay. So then, there's also Shi Qianyu, okay? She is the first to register that day, and although she was unsure about whether it will hurt or not, she understood that it wasn't that painful thanks to modern technology, and then she learned that it was actually as easy as giving blood, right? Okay, so any questions so far? No? And then next is the TV station news about an event similar to this, because their viewings done all over Taiwan. This is just like a news report, but I also found another video of a writer, actually. He booked a whole theater just for this movie. No charges were collected, by the way. There were a lot of people that went, so what else should I talk about it? So there's a couple that were interviewed, and after watching the movie, they said that they were very interested in
making their bone marrow. Okay. Good. So please play the video.
那这部电影叫《闭本》，它的意义真的太大了，所以我希望能够用我最大的努力，让这部电影让全世界都，至少台湾人都可以看到这部电影。
知名作家特别包场，邀请800位观众欣赏，让温暖延续。
有的地方都不一样，这个世界上没有任何一种话语是100%对你的角度有效。
电影描述6名癌症儿童对艾滋病的故事，除了病童故事，电影主旨更要让民众认识造血干细胞捐赠，每一个人都可能为焦急等待移植的家庭带来奇迹，捐赠者更是现场分享经历。
捐骨髓干细胞的一个充分了解之后，能够也站出来，然后抽一管血10cc，就让别人的生命以及别人的家庭，整个人生都不一样。
如果被这个插的话，就是希望大家都能够捐赠，帮助一些很需要帮助的人。
很多观众的回馈，让我们觉得说原来电子可以影响我们。
导演希望延续电影传递的主题，让每一位遇到疾病的人都能有勇气面对人生挑战。
接下来对整个社会是有影响，就是会觉得更爱自己，更爱自己的家人。完成之后，观众给我们的回馈已经超越了这个电影，他反而是得到更大的那个求生的那种生命力。
大新闻重庆节张月佳、梁嘉玲台北报道。
Right. So the director talked about how he wanted more people to be inspired and want to love. Well, he originally wanted people to love themselves and their families more, but he feels like the feedback he has gotten from the audience made him think that, oh, people are more willing to survive or like find ways to better their lives and live their life to the fullest. And there's a quick song I want to play, and it's the original soundtrack of the movie. You guys can please play the video first.
Okay, so that's it for my part. Do you guys have any questions? No? Okay, I'm gonna pass the mic to our actual bone marrow donor. Let's give him a round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jay. And today I will share with you my journey of bone marrow donation. And I finished my donation about for 8 years ago, 8 years. And after so long, I still healthy. So I can tell you, the donation is not bad for you, and you can save a family or 2 families. And this program is very good to people, and also this program inspired me by this, and I will talk about it at the end of the presentation. And how I first got involved. And when I was in graduate school, and the classmate, he told me one of his friends, he planned to attend this program in order to contribute to society. And he asked me if I can go to this program or not. And I don't think too much, so I just said, okay, let's just go, and I don't think too much. And I was registering my data in this place. And there are so many brothers and sisters. They will guide you and explain the whole process and the verification and the very detail. And then I finished my marrow data registration. And it's just very simple. You just draw your 10-6 blood, and you can go and wait the information. And at that time, I don't expect I will be matched with someone one day. So it's been about 5, and the day I got called, about 5 years later, I remember the day because I at work. It's about 4 p.m. and I received a phone call. A Tzu sister, she called me and said, one patient is successfully matched with my marrow bone data, and asked me if I have a chance to discuss it, and if I'm available when I can discuss with her. And I told my director and manager, and I have to say I'm not excited, not just because I can have a chance to help people, but the most important thing is I have the experience I have the opportunity to experience something so rare and so meaningful. So my supervisor will approve me, so that day I told her Sister Xu I can discuss this with her and that evening. And there are so many brothers and sisters that day, and Sister Xu also there, and has her Tzu Chi volunteer, Dr. Lau. He explained the whole process in details, and explained the donation way. There are 2 ways. The traditional way is bone marrow harvest. It means you have in a surgery, and the doctor will insert the needle into your leg bones, like your hips, and because the stem cells always stuck in the big bones, like hips, and so the next bone is ideal place to extraction the cell and stem cells. And another way is peripheral blood stem cells creation. And today, 90% of the donor adapt this way because it's very easy and the risk is very low. So I choose so my parents fully secure medical, but they are a little worried about the surgery. But right now, I always choose the peripheral plastic operation. They have no objections. But for me, no matter which ways, I will still to do this because it is a chance to save people. So if the patient is in an urgent situation, they need a surgery, I will agree because there's a chance to save the people. But actually, I just can you conduct the peripheral plastics operation. It's okay, so I agree. And today I will confirm my willingness. And I said I can accept this and I will do this. And then comes a series of medical tests. The first place is go to the Huilen Hospital. You draw the blood and do a blood test to check your health. And then we'll go to the Dali Hospital in Jiayi. We do a fully physical test. And unfortunately, I passed all the tests. And the next step, I have to receive an injection of growth factor. And the doctor will explain the side effect and the whole process. And this stage, I need to receive the 5 doses growth factor. And every dose must be administered at least 24 hours apart. So you need to take 5 days to injection this growth factor. And the side effect is you will feel your lower back sore and some fatigue and the symptom like fever. But fortunately, I just feel my lower back sore. And when I receive the 3rd, and 4th doses, but just a little very slight, so I can handle it. But just like when you wake up and when you stand up, you feel your lower back is very sore. I hear some donor, he has a very serious symptom, so he can't go to work and he have to rest income. So my sister, she said, I was the one of the most relaxed donor he ever seen because I feel I don't like long life. I don't have any serious side effect. I just a little low back sore. Okay. And this is Dali Hospital, the place where I take the full physicals. And I remember when I received the 3rd dose of the growth factor, I heard some donor. She has matched and she fell in the full physical. So it means she can be a donor because his body and his medical test doesn't pass. So the recipient, the patient have to find another donor. So it's very pity. But another way, the Tzu Chi is very careful, very serious because we have to make sure the donor has the health body. And if they don't pass the test, they can't get a health stem and stem cells. They will jeopardize the recipients. So everybody should take care of yourself and in case you have the chance. And in the morning, we go to Jiayi Hospital in the morning from Kaohsiung. And I received the final injection of the growth factor. And then the doctor will express the whole process again, and very detailed, and then make sure your agreement. And then the nurse will insert a soft needle into your arms. The needle is very long, about like this. It's very long, but it's a soft needle. And because I often donate my blood, so I was not nervous because I just get used to it. So I'm not afraid of the soft needle. But it's very weird because when you finish insert needles, you have to take the lunch and you have to take dinner. So you can bend your arm, but you can bend so hard. So the whole process, I think the most difficult part is eating dinner and lunch. Because you have to use a very strange way to eat your lunch. You have to do like this, use your spoon and then sharp take this. Because if you bend too much, you hurt. So my whole process, I use this to eat my lunch and my dinner. So I think this is the most difficult part. The low-base stove is nothing, I have to say. And after I finish my lunch and the insert stove needles and we start correction, the whole process takes about 6 hours. It's very soon because I heard someone it takes to 8 hours. And that means the process is very smooth. And it's very easy because you just lie on the bed and watch movies. I remember I watched 3 movies. Each movie about take 2 hours. And because you can move your arms, you just can lay on the bed. Because if you move your hands, the machine will run, the machine will read, and the correction will stop. And the doctor will check the machine, and it will take a long time. But in the process, I didn't let it doesn't happen, so very smoothly. But there are 2 brothers and 2 sisters that serve me drink the water and serve me the soup, and they really let me feel very embarrassed because I just can't move. So the sister will give you the water and the father will give you the fruits and make sure you are not starved and make you not hungry. And at that time, the convenient part is you have to, because the 6 hours very long time, so you have to go to the pit. So everybody when you say to the doctor, so I have to go to the pit, everybody will go out because you can't leave the machine too far away. So they will remove the pipe and you will go to do that. It's very convenient. Okay, and about 6 hours and I finish my correction, the doctor will count the stem cells to make sure that the clot is not enough. If not, then the next day you have to inject the 6 doses of the growth factor and do the correction again. But luckily, my quality is enough. So then I can remove the needles. And then we have the brother and sisters. They have to put the pressure on my hands and apply for about 30 minutes. And this also makes me very embarrassed because I can move. So you can see the brothers sit next to me and push my hands. And then it's really embarrassing. And after that, I was invited to promoting the bone marrow donation, and because I have the experience to share the people this program, and you can show them your health, and you use the story. But when people ask me, I just don't tell them the dramatic story because for me, I just want to do it. I love to do it. I don't think too much because I just want to help and I want to get a new experience somebody can have. So, but in the donation drives, the brother and sister, they are very experienced, so they can explain to the people very specific. And I just show up and show that I'm a person, I live a lot, I live healthy, and no any side effect and any something bad in my body. And
我先为大家介绍这一位的捐赠者。接到佩瑞成功的电话，他很
惊讶，而且也有一点点迟疑，因为呢，她的先生是常年在外工作，平常他都自己要照顾一个3岁大的女儿。他想说，我太忙了，而且先生不在家，如果我去捐赠女儿怎么办？没想到他的先生得知消息之后，立刻表达赞成太太来捐赠，而且还跟他说，我会排除一切的困难回来照顾你跟孩子，只要你好好的去捐赠，当别人的救命恩人。来欢迎我们的捐赠者张佩珍女士。你是弟弟吧？哈，你是弟弟对不对？啊，你是姐姐。你听到太太被配对成功是高兴吗？
我当然高兴了，是可以救人，当然是好的。
所以在太太在您的支持之下，他就勇敢的去捐赠了。然后捐赠之后，隔几年又还生了这个小菩萨，对不对？大家看到他这么好动，就知道捐完之后，妈妈的身体依然是很好，生一个这么活泼好动的。来，弟弟，好，我们的受随者对于我们的佩珍一家人有多么感恩呢？从他们来的人数就知道了。今天他们全家大小从新北的新庄来到高雄，全家16口人要来到感恩，欢迎我们的陈家妍小菩萨还有一家人。陈家妍小菩萨是我们今天详见环当中年纪最小的一位受赠者。这个也要抱一下。他等了6年，这个是家人的阿嬷啦，哈，好。你是我的大英雄。啊，对不起，你再讲一次。是我的大英雄。你是我的大英雄，感恩你。那多一个干妈啦，好不好？哈，这个也是跟妈妈一样的重要哦，哈。好，来，爸爸可能要说什么？
首先，我很感谢我们捐水者，因为刚好2位嘛，那也感谢第1位那位先生，
是。
然后感谢感恩慈济大爱骨髓捐水中心，然后还有当初我们台北龙总的理事跟团队，视频友情，感谢你们。当然还有很多慈济的师兄姐，以及一路上都很帮忙我们的，感谢你们，有你们。今天我们才有这个机会可以站在这里，好，谢谢大家，谢谢。
好，这个当初要跑击剑10天是花费非常多的人力，听说是全台湾动员在找有没有适合的配对。请问参与这一对关怀的志工有没有在现场站起来，让我们看一下好吗？不管是佩珍的或者是家妍的，谢谢您，感恩您，谢谢。
This reunion was in 2017, and I'm not sure I was there or not. Because I attend one event, I don't remember which part I attended, but the speaker is very touched, and very moved, and everybody will cry in that place. I mean, it's very touched. And if you finish your donation, 5 years later, you can have a chance to see the recipient. And you also can reject. You can choose to not to see that. It's again on you. And after 8 years, I still haven't received it. But I'm too expected to it. I'm really expected. And the whole process, my experience, I can share you like this. And it's all because it's very a long time ago, so maybe I can't remember so clearly. So I just tell my whole story to share with you. And the next part. And the next part I just mentioned in earlier. And this events inspired of me because as a donor, what should my attitude be regarding this connection? Because the whole program promotes the ideas, the pure love. So which means you collect nothing from the recipient, but you can hear a lot of story. Like I hear a story about the sister told me. She said a donor, maybe, and he and his wife they want a baby, but they don't have. And someday his husband received information that he met with the patient, and he finished his collection. And after 2 years, his wife pregnant, and they have their first baby. So what I mean is, yes, we don't collect something from the recipients, but you will feel when you encounter tough situation, when you at the intersection of your life, you have to choose. You make a choose. You will pray for like Buddha or God. You will think, I do such great things. I have such big grace. Did God or Buddha will give me something like a name is children. But is this idea right? Because I do the big things, I have a huge graces. I still have a thought to collect something, but not from God. But is that right? So I believe every city volunteer will face the same situation because everybody in the city, they are doing the one thing, helping people. But if you're helping people, someday when you encounter tough situation, would you pray the reward to you to make your life safety or peace, or make your life smooth? So, but I try to answer this question. I would say, you just put it like if that's what you want to do, and you try to don't think you want to collect something to you. And so I'd like to ask you, if you have this huge blessing, this huge good things you do, and you have a people, you have a family. So what will you think? When you claim something from God or Buddha? And what's your attitude? Does anyone want to answer this question?
I want to thanks to Jimmy, Brother Jimmy. He's very honest because he has this thought sometimes in his heart that he has done such a good deed to save a life, and he might, in his heart, there might be a little thoughts that maybe my life will become smoother in the future. I have a great job, I have a great family, I have a great relationship. We all want these good things happen in our life, especially for city volunteer because we do good deeds every day. And some city volunteer, when they face life challenge like getting cancer, they might sometimes they feel very depressed. How come I do so many good deeds and I don't get the good reward from the Buddha or God to make sure that my life will go policy, like purchasing an insurance policy. 3 good deeds so that to make sure that I don't face any challenging life. That is not possible actually. So we just need to do good deeds without really asking anything for return. And I remember 2 years ago from Xinxin district, my own district, my own community, I heard that there is a woman or a donor who got cancer. But this person had making donation 20 years ago, long time ago. But really, she saved a life. But that does not guarantee that she is not going to fall sick or she will not have any difficulties in her life. She is just like a normal people like all of us are. She would have all kinds of challenges in her life, but she get more encouragement and blessings from Tzu Chi Martyr to help her go through the difficult time for chemotherapy. This is what the true reward we get is to build that great relationship among people we met and even people they are not in our family. But because through doing the good deeds, we form a great relationship with people that we didn't used to know. But this is true value of doing good deeds and come to this world to create a great relationship with people around us. Sister Joy recall that in my community, there's also a donor, and she is about, yes, it's a donor many years ago, and her got cancer in her 60s, 50s, yeah. She got cancer in her 50s. Yes, and the people in market will say, oh, we do a big job to help people, to help others, but why she will get cancer? But to herself, she say, in the medication, in all the way of medication, she don't feel uncomfortable, even though sick, she no sick and no throat hurt, and everything is going very smoothly. And so she did. She believed in what she had done more than 10 years ago is right. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone have feedback for Julie? Anyone? No. Okay, 所以我用中文讲一下，就是我们其实每一个人不见得是他们捐随者，就是我们每一个可能做的好事都会想要有好报。那但是就是上人的教导，就是真的我们要用平常心，
没有说你做了好事，然后你就再也不会生病，你生活中就不会遇到生命的挑战，还是就跟平常人一样，就是还是都会遇到很多的挑战或者是生病，但是就是要用平常心去面对。但是因为曾经有做过好事，像我们那个新兴区的那一位20多年前的捐髓者，他得了癌症之后，但是因为他曾经是捐髓者，所以他不会是自己一个人孤军奋斗，而是旁边有很多的师兄师姐去安慰他、陪伴他，去做抗癌的这个过程，让他不会孤单寂寞。我想这就是最大的回报。
各位师兄师姐，我真的很随喜，就是我们居民呢，他提出这个问题，因为呢，事实上我觉得我们在我们周遭现在目前所发生的所有的事情，我都把它定义为业力，它是无法被转变的，这是我们必须要去接受，因为它是我们之前所做的一切，然后就很自然的展现了。那所以我们要做的可能就是接受。我们现在目前在做的，不是去想说我们现在到底发生了什么，就是发生了什么不好的事情，可是我们心心念念都应该要放在我们要做什么，然后来为我们的来生、为我们的未来来累积更多的福报，然后希望这个福报能够帮助我们，帮助所有一切的众生能够离苦得乐，这是我个人的想法。谢谢大家。
其实丽莲师姐她会跟大家这样分享，因为她自己很痛苦，所以她是由衷的、发自内心的跟大家分享，因为这是她自己的生命的体验。所以我们在昨天晚上还在讨论今天的 presentation， 然后他就说I probably need to speak English. OK， OK， 他们好像没有很懂中文。没关系。OK， 我们昨天晚上 we had discussion yesterday about last night about our presentation today, and she say I mentioned that Elva is going to present the content about the movie Big, and she said after she watched, we watched together and she said after she watched that movie Big, she went back to her car and cried for half an hour to everyone.
Right. Well, actually, my husband passed away about 1 year ago, occurring because of lung cancer. So he left me for only 4 months. So I even didn't prepare for his living. So I will say that everything happened according to karma. We just can't do anything. The only thing we can do is to accept it, and then to think about how could I use this karma to create a better life for the future. So it really hurts because I'm overthinking about if I could also die in my sleep. After him. I thought about that a lot. For about half year, I even couldn't do anything. I'm totally dead.
因为我意外的在这个月刊上看到，今年不是今年的事，今年季妈咪，季妈咪她的伴侣，她的先生也是往生的，然后他回金色，上人跟他说，上人说，你若修医，你得讲出来。我好，so touching，上人没有结婚他从来没有这种夫妻关系，可是这句话，我就觉得好打动我，然后我就跟我的师姐说，你若想以你来讲出来。我发觉 ，yes， 就是这样，可能。
But I thought about him all the time.
So you actually create great memories in your life. That's the most rewarding part in your life.
Because he treated me so well, and I didn't do any household chores.
She's a princess and
Yeah.
我们人真的是很奇怪的动物，就是比如说季妈咪好了，她其实都一直在跟她的师兄有追过，对，就是不愉快，她都觉得她的师兄很picky，because he had a Japanese education background. So even their drawer, once I remember in that TV recorded interview with Zimani, she opened up the drawer in their home. She said, "You won't be able to see anything rolling in the drawer. Everything needs to be set at their specific location, even in the drawer." Her husband pay attention to every little detail in the home. So Timami has to spend a lot of time to make the house tidy. She felt very suffering. But after her husband passed away, now she missed her. So this is human being. Okay, and then now we will pass the microphone back to Jim.
And then we have another C5. And then we'll play a song.
So everybody, we will play the video game and then everyone try to follow the sign language and try to sing about this song. So we will play the video again. You can try to follow the sign language and try to sing.
So you're working in school or in the government? Oh, in the private company. 哦，所以他有觉得那个或者是在办公室的。
然后把下午的这种课的教材，instrument